So let's talk about the warfare and the potential ways of making him stronger. Now this is just purely out of fun, and I want to address a little bit of something before we continue, because I know that there's going to be someone that is going to come out here and touch these points. It's just common things that usually happen. So I do want to clarify. We are going to be discussing about min-maxing. Min-maxing, it's a touchy subject for a lot of people, right? So, that being said, let's clarify that first. Do you need to min-max in Dragon's Dogma 2? Of course you don't. Are you forced to min-max your character in Dragon's Dogma 2? No. Am I forcing you to min-max your character in Dragon's Dogma 2? I am not. Does the game needs you to min-max your character? Is the game difficult enough so that you have the necessity of min-maxing your character on Dragon's Dogma 2? Of course not. The game is just not that difficult. However, am I allowed to min-max if I want to? If I want to make a stronger character than the regular one that you would have, even though that I do know that I do not need the character, yes, I can. I am allowed to as well. So yes, we're going to be talking about min-maxing and the potentialities that we're going to have right here with the min-maxing. But first and foremost, this is going to be focused on the warfare. Just on the warfare, because I like numbers. Everyone likes numbers as well. And with the warfare, it's a little bit of a shadowy thing because of the Hideaki Tsuno in interviews. And the game just tells us that the warfare is not as strong as the rest of the classes because it has less gains or less stats than the rest of the classes as a, let's say, to the base stats. There's a little bit of an implication in here that's not precisely right. Yes and no. So let's talk about that, how to make the best possible warfare. Well, what I have for you right here are the warfare cap stats. What it is going to change whenever you change into the warfare on the stats. So as you can see, it's minimal, right? It's just minimal. Like for example, if you change as a fighter, the strength that you're going to have as a fighter, the strength is just going to be 96%. Versus an archer, it's just going to be 99%. Versus a warrior, that's a little bit higher, but still not that huge of a deal. The strength that you would have opposite to a warrior, it's going to be 87%. So you see those little numbers right there. It doesn't really matter that much because you're not losing that much stuff. The only thing that you're losing actually quite a lot is from the warrior, because you're only going to get the 25% knockdown resistance that a warrior would have, but you still have like the 100% of the fighter, which is not that bad. Although have in mind that the warrior actually does require quite a lot of knockdown resistance and quite a lot of hyper armor because of how slow their attacks are. So that's something that you do need to have in mind in there. So if the stats are not really that different, how is it that it affects the warfare when it comes to potentially being one of the strongest classes or vocations in the game? Well, mainly purely because of stat growth. The stat growth of a warfare, it's just going to be minimal on the rest of everything because he has everything, like he levels up everything. And I want to clarify as well, yes, I know that at level 200, or at least it is believed, I haven't really seen anyone in-game being level 200, claiming this to be true. This is just a picture that popped up when the game launched right there, that once you reach level 200, the stats are equalized all the same. You have the same health, strength, defense, and everything, what have you, depending. It doesn't really matter if you level up as this or if you leveled up as that. So yes, that might very well be the case, but if I'm being honest with you, I have like 150 hours with my first playthrough of Dragon's Dogma 2. My character is level 90. I'm really close to 100. So my character is just so powerful right now. My reason is just so overpowered right now that I don't feel that I have the necessity to reach in 200. Once you reach level 200, then there's not enough content in the game right now Not until we get a DLC, which I'm hoping that it is going to be something like the Bitter Black Isle. I'm hoping that it is going to be the case. We know that there's a level cap of 999, and there is just not enough content right now for us to be compelled to reach that point. So my thought, what I was thinking right now, and the next goal that I think that I'm going to have is just a new playthrough. I have a new save file, but my new save file, I am going to min-max it just because I can. Because I like to feel powerful, because I like to know about these little numbers. You know, that's all that we mainly focus here in this channel, to optimize everything to be the most powerful little thing that we can possibly be. So, how to min-max a warfare to be as strong as possible? Well, it depends on what is it that you want for your warfare to be. So do you want for your warfare to be something really strong when it comes to melee damage, or you want your warfare to be really strong when it comes to magic damage? It's all going to be dependent on that. Remember that the warfare can have up to 3 weapons, which is one of the upsides. One of the downsides is that you're not allowed to use master skills, and you're not allowed to use like that many skills, because you have the one that you have to be using to switch weapons, and then you can use out of that 3 more skills. So in reality, it ain't that much. But one of the biggest pros that I see about the warfare is the core skills. Like, the core skills are neglected by a lot of people, and I think that they are cool. They are amazing. They're actually quite lovely, and the core skills are actually as important in some cases as the active skills that you have for your classes. So if we have these little numbers right here of the caps that happen whenever you change or you switch vocation, which is just minimal, then it doesn't really... what really matters in here is how you grew your character. There's also, I would very much like to have like data mine information. We don't have, this is just data mine information about the warfare vocation per se on itself. I would very much like to have a warfare, the data mine information about the stat growths, which I'm guessing that at some point we are going to get. It's just that we don't have them right now. But we know for sure, as a fact, that the level up stat growth of the warfare, it's not that huge, because you cannot give like every single little stat to every single class just by leveling up a warfare. So that is the downside. If you play a whole bunch of time with the warfare, your stat growths are not going to be as good, and you're not going to be dealing as much damage as some different warfares could be by doing different things. So for example, the premise in here is that I'm not entirely sure. I do not know if the thief is the highest strength gain, as it was the opposite, the assassin on Dragon's Dogma 1, but I know for sure that a warrior should have quite a lot of strength stat growth, so that's something that we know for sure. The thief gets some really huge increases into strength and stamina. The warrior gives you some really nice increases into strength, stamina, health, and defense. Well, not stamina, strength, health, and defense. I myself, personally, if you ask myself just for the pure fun of it, I would level up a thief, for example, since we don't have the data mine information. I would say that all the way to a level 50, just purely being a thief without touching anything else. And then at 50, which you should have probably finished the game right there, you should be on the end game, then you can take advantage of all of that strength, that amazing strength that you have right there, and you're switching to the warfare. You would only be losing 4% from the fighter, 1% from the archer, 2% from the thief, and from the warrior you would be losing like 13% strength. But because of your amazing stat growth, it is not going to matter that much, and that warfare could potentially be a monster when it comes to physical damage. You could be a monster by using a bow, or by using sword and board, or by using daggers, this helm splitter, the skull splitter with this thing, provided that you add something different, little extra right here. It could just sound amazing. Now, on the opposite side, if you want to build a warfare that focuses on magic, now you would be neglecting the magic usage of that warfare, so you would be limiting yourself of being purely a melee character. But if you level up your warfare or your main arisen from level 1 all the way to level 50 as a sorcerer, and then you change into a warfare, then you could have the magic bow, the sorcerer spells, although the ones that the one sorcerer spells that are not from Masters are not really that amazing, but you could be like, for example, you can have some stuff from the Mystic Spear hands and focus your warfare as a magic kind of class, which would be better than some other warfare that wouldn't have that much magic stat growth as you would have if you level up like 50 levels into a sorcerer and then switch into a warfare. Anyways, if you like the content, like the rest, I appreciate it. And also, that you're a gorgeous and beautiful person. You're indeed a gorgeous and beautiful, beautiful person. Have a lovely, lovely day, and goodbye.